Okay, if you look on my timeline, hold on one second, I need to spotlight this. Okay. All right, it's up.
All right, thanks.
Well, I think it's out. You guys see it?
Yes, I see it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, there we go. All right. Ready when you are. It's nice to be the one getting interviewed tonight. Might have to button up the top button to look a little bit more professional.
Okay, great. Thank you. So hello, everyone. First of all, I want to thank Teacher Andy because he was very kind enough to write a recommendation letter for me so that I can continue to flourish in doing work like this project and other things in the future in a doctoral program at the University of Miami to start working on community psychology. So I'm really excited about that. That's the next step for me in my academic journey. So thank you to Teacher Andy for that. And thank you for Teacher Tim as well, who's definitely helped me throughout this whole process and connecting with people and everything. So first of all, I'd like to start with a presentation about what this project is and how it is that you all can get involved with it and everything like that. So is there a way that I can share my screen? Yes.
Yep,
okay.
I'm gonna do that right now. Oh, you're a co-host already, so.
Okay.
Yep.
And does it usually share the audio, the computer audio?
What you do is when you hit share screen, if you
Mhm.
look down on the bottom left of that share screen, there should be a box that you can click that says audio.
Okay, I see. Thank you. All right. Can you all see?
Yep.
Yes, okay. So the name of the research project that I'm working on for my current master's thesis is called Well-Being, Mastering, and Cultural Competence of Innovative English Global Teachers. And I know that you guys were kind of debating whether or not to change the name, but I wasn't sure if it was official or not, so I just stuck to the Innovative English Global. But if you guys want me to change the name, I can do that. That's whatever you guys would like.
I mean, it doesn't have to be changed right now, but yeah, that's a great point. Things are changing, so yeah, next time we'll add that into it.
Yes. So first of all, I want to explain what community psychology is because it's a relatively small field, and the whole inspiration for this project is because of community psychology. So I kind of want to give a little overview of that. So what community psychology is that it goes beyond an individual focus. So oftentimes psychology fields kind of tend to focus on the individual, but community psychology is more so looking at a whole society, looking at a whole community and how society has an impact on the individual, and then also how an individual has an impact on society. And it integrates social, cultural, economic, political, environmental, and international influences to promote positive change, health, and empowerment at individual and systemic levels. So it's more so trying to create change. So this right here is Dr. Isaac Pilotensky, and he works at the University of Miami. And I'm really excited because hopefully I'll get to work with him more as I enter the program. But he does a lot of research in well-being. So for the project, I've included some of the surveys that he's helped develop in well-being and mattering, which I'll explain later in the presentation. But a lot of what his work is trying to advocate for people and also trying to bring about the fact that there is no wellness without fairness. So a lot of times people neglect to see that a person's wellness is not, evenly distributed throughout society, and that and then wellness is often very much impacted by the society and the circumstances that we live in. So without fairness, there's no wellness. So well-being and mastering are concepts that are extensively researched by Dr. Isaac Pilotensky and colleagues. And those are topics that will be covered in the survey that hopefully you guys will take a part of. So the first part of the survey is the ICOPE Well-Being Survey. So what does this consist of? This consists of interpersonal well-being, community well-being, occupational well-being, physical well-being, psychological well-being, and economic well-being. So this scale is supposed to help individuals gain insight on the different domains of well-being and how they score on these different domains. So I have a video here to kind of give you a little bit of an overview of what well-being is, which is a very broad term. A lot of people define it in different ways, but I think this video does a good job of, even elaborating how it's defined in other ways. So I'm going to play this video. Can you hear the audio?
What is well-being? Well-being is often described as the state of being comfortable, healthy, or happy. People who enjoy high levels of well-being are described as flourishing. In this context, flourishing means that the person enjoys feelings of happiness, contentment, and curiosity, and is able to engage fully with what is going on around them. Flourishing also means functioning well in the world. The person experiences positive relationships, has some control over their life, and has a sense of purpose. Well-being, therefore, isn't simply the opposite of ill-being. Just looking at what causes distress won't necessarily help us to identify the factors that give rise to well-being. Many researchers in the field have worked over many years to be able to more closely define well-being, with many agreeing that it is a global assessment of a person's quality of life, according to his or her own chosen criteria. The World Health Organization agreed that this is a broad-ranging concept, affected in a complex way by the person's physical health, psychological state, personal beliefs, social relationships, and their relationship to features of their environment. Understanding the role of our environments, and in particular our built environment, is an important area of research, as we spend up to 90% of our time either inside buildings or vehicles. If we can design and construct buildings that improve our well-being, why wouldn't we?
Yes, so what I like a lot about this particular scale that I'm utilizing in this survey is the fact that it does take into account the different domains of well-being. Oftentimes, surveys for well-being are, just one dimension of well-being is being focused on, or it's incredibly lengthy, but this one is very concise and it covers all these areas, which I think is very cool. So the next part of the survey is mattering. So mattering is feeling that you are significant and that you are important to the world. So it's about that you feel like you're valued and also that you're giving value to others. So that's the second part of the survey. And again, I'll go through the whole survey and you can kind of see more in depth what kind of questions you'll see for the mattering part. And third is cultural competence. So cultural competence is being able to understand and communicate with people of different cultures. And I think that this is super important because IEG is super diverse and it's consisted of over 65 different countries. So I think it might be valuable to kind of self-reflect and think about how it is that you deal with your own personal biases and how you deal with working with people from different cultures than your own. So it might be worth, you know, doing some self-reflection in that area. So here's a short video on what cultural competence and cultural humility is.
Cultural competency and cultural humility. You may have heard these terms before, possibly in the context of healthcare settings, and not quite understood what they meant. Let's go over what these terms mean and how they apply to everyday life. To be culturally competent is to learn about other cultures, control your biases, and adapt your behaviors and communication style considering the background of people around you. The goal of cultural competency is effective and informed interaction across various cultures. At face value, cultural competency sounds ideal, but it may actually lead us to rely on generalizations about certain groups rather than recognizing the uniqueness of each individual. We also have to ask ourselves, is it realistic or even possible for people to learn everything about other cultures and become completely bias-free? That's where cultural humility comes in. To be culturally humble is to be aware of social power imbalances, respect other people's values and beliefs, and continuously reflect on your own biases. With cultural humility, there's no expectation that you memorize everything there is to know about other groups. Instead, it's a lifelong process of asking yourself how your own biases might impact the way you treat and understand others, alongside work to minimize that impact. Cultural competency is a goal, while cultural humility is a mindset. Let's go over a few ways to practice cultural humility in our daily lives. Recognize that no culture is superior to another. Become comfortable with reflecting on and acknowledging mistakes you've made. Be honest when you're not sure about something. Learn about other cultures with the awareness that you'll never reach perfect understanding. Ask the people in your life if you can have open discussions and hold each other accountable during your learning journey. The great thing about cultural humility is that it acknowledges that no one can get it right all the time. In fact, a key component of cultural humility is being open about what we haven't learned yet. Although it can feel really uncomfortable to admit when we're wrong or don't know something, that vulnerability leaves room for us to continuously learn, grow, and promote equity and inclusion in our communities.
Yes, so that third component is cultural competence. So I will go through the actual survey with you all and I'll go more in depth in what type of questions you'll see in the survey. So lastly, I want to say, please, 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 in this survey, please be honest, because one of the limitations that happens with these type of surveys that you take by yourself is kind of you give yourself the benefit of the doubt and you're like, yeah, I'm culturally competent, everything. I want to challenge you guys to be very honest about these questions and answering them, you know, very honestly. So this way we can all grow together. So next, I'm going to show you all the actual survey. Are there any questions you all have so far? No? Okay. Okay, can you see the screen?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, all right. So for this survey, you can take it on your mobile device, which you see on the right, or you can take it on the web. So this is sort of a simulation, so you can see how it is, how it's structured and everything. So how I plan to distribute this is any teacher that is willing to take this survey, I would then go through TalkMail and give them a link to it because I want it to be more so confidential, distributing the survey and making sure that they are teachers, the ones that I give it to. And as a reward, you can give me input if you think I should do something else, but I was thinking as a little bit of an incentive, I can design an image that says IEG and well-being or something like that that will be individualized to each participant so that they can then post it on their web talk feed, and that will help them, you know, gain points on web talk, but also help bring out more momentum and getting people involved in everything. So let me know if you think that's a good idea or there's something I should add to that or whatnot.
Yeah, that's great. That's a great idea.
Yeah, so maybe I should zoom in a bit so you can see it more. Okay, so this right here is the consent form. So this is just telling you exactly what the survey is and then consenting to actually taking the survey. So I'll read it for you guys. So the name of the project is Wellbeing, Mattering, and Cultural Competence of Innovative English Global Teachers. And the purpose of the research is to gain insight into the well-being, mattering, which is the feeling one is a contribution to society, and cultural competence of innovative English global teachers. So the specific procedures is that you will take a one-time 10 to 15 minute survey, and this survey will be online, and you will receive the link through TalkMail on WebTalk. There are no great risks in this. It's very minimal risks, things that you would probably encounter in everyday life. Benefits to taking part in this survey is that you'll gain insight in your personal well-being, mastering, and cultural competence scores, as well as collective IEG scores. So what I hope to do is once everyone participates, you'll get insight into what your personal scores are, but also I'd like to give you guys a little bit of statistical analyses of what are the trends of the IEG teachers in these different domains. And then this will help you make any necessary adjustments in your personal and work life to improve these areas. So as for compensation, like I said, I'll give each of you a personalized image through TalkMail once you complete the survey or once you tell me that you are interested in doing the survey. And I'll design things that say, you know, mastering matters or well-being matters and certain things like that. I'll be creative. I haven't quite designed them yet, but you can post those and gain points and then spread the word, and that would be great. As for confidentiality, any data collected during this experiment will be confidential. Only you and the members of the research team will have access to the data, and it'll be anonymous, nothing with your personal information, and you have the opportunity to review your own data, and the computer files will be secure, so we really make sure that everything's confidential. So, and if not, Lynn University is responsible, so. And voluntary nature. So this is completely voluntary. You can withdraw at any time without penalty if you don't want to be a part of it anymore. And if you have any questions, you can contact me. That's my email there. Or you can contact the actual head of the institutional review board at my institution. contact her if you'd like. And documentation of this consent is if you want a copy of the actual consent form that you sign, upon request, we'll send it to you. Other than that, you probably wouldn't receive a copy, but if you do want one, just let me know and you'll get a copy. So you have to consent before you continue the survey. For example, if you don't consent, it'll take you straight to, okay, thank you for your time, you can't take the survey. So you have to consent to this. So I'll click I do consent, and then we'll move along. The next thing, which is unfortunate, is that my school said, you know, I can only have participants that are 18 years or older. I know there are teachers that are younger than that, but unfortunately for this survey, it has to be 18 years or older. So again, if you click no, it'll take you straight to the end of the survey and you can't participate. So I'll just say yes, and we'll move along. All right, so this is the demographics section of the survey. So here you input your age, you say what you identify as, what your race is, your country of origin, and where you live currently. So there's a little sample of mine, and then you move along. So the second section of the survey is the ICOPE scale. So this is the well-being scale. So this scale evaluates your overall well-being as well as your level of well-being in 6 domains of life. So again, it's ICOPE, so it's interpersonal, community, occupational, physical, psychological, and economic. So the first question is, on the scale, the number 0 represents the worst your life can be, and number 10 represents the best your life can be. So these are sort of just self-reflection type of questions, right? So the first question is asking you, when it comes to the best possible life for you, on which number do you stand now? So you're thinking, oh, if my life really sucks right now, you're gonna put a 0. If my life is you're gonna put a 5. If my life is phenomenal, you're gonna put a 10. So you're thinking about now. The next question is, how do you think your life will stand how did your life stand a year ago? So you're thinking from the past. How was my life a year ago? It was great. So you put a 10. If it was not so great, okay, I'll put a 2, and so on and so forth. The third one is, how will it stand a year from now? So now you're thinking about the future. So if you're super optimistic, you're putting a 10. And if you have a bleak view of where your life will go, you'll put a 0, 1, 2, the lower range. So the second question is the same scale, and it has to do with the relationships with people important in your life. So you're thinking about, how's your relationship now? How did it stand a year ago? How does it stand a year from now? The third question is the community where you live. Where do you stand now? Where did you stand a year ago? Where will you stand a year from now? And then the fourth question is your occupation, whether you're employed, self-employed, a volunteer, or staying at home. Where do you stand now? Where do you stand a year ago, a year from now? Same scale. And then the fifth is your physical health and wellness. Sixth is emotional and psychological well-being. And then the seventh is your economic situation. So this is the well-being part of the survey. Do you guys have any questions so far? No? Okay. So the next area is the mattering. So this scale evaluates your sense of mattering. Mattering is about feeling that you count, that you are significant, that you're important in the world. And it consists of feeling valued by the self and others and adding value to the self and others. So by feeling valued, we mean feeling appreciated, noticed, and respected. And by adding value, we mean making a contribution, improving, helping, or enriching your own life or the life of others. So I'm imagining that IEG people will have a really high score here, I hope, because you all definitely contribute a lot to people's lives. So the first is the same scale as the last one. So we're 0 from 10, 0 meaning not so good, 10 meaning great. So the first question is your overall feeling of mattering. And again, if you forget what mattering is, it's here on top. The second question is when it comes to feeling valued by yourself. The third question is feeling valued by people close to you, such as relatives or friends. The fourth question is feeling valued at your main place of work or occupation. Yes, job, college, home, wherever you work. You can choose to either focus this on IEG or you can focus this on your other jobs. And I think either way will be beneficial, because I think you need to carry this sort of mentality or just think about these things throughout every aspect of your life, so you don't have to limit it to IEG. And then fifth is feeling valued in your community, the neighborhood, city, or region where you live. And the sixth is adding value to your own life. And seventh is adding value to people close to you, such as relatives and friends. Eight is adding value to your main place of work or occupation. And then adding value to your community. And then the last part of the survey is the cultural competence part. So the scale for this one is always very well, very often pretty well, sometimes occasionally, and never. So these are the questions here. We can just go over them. So the first one is IEG views human difference as a positive and cause for celebration. I have a clear sense of my own ethnic, cultural, and racial identity. I'm aware that in order to learn more about others, I need to understand and be prepared to share my own culture. I'm aware of my discomfort when I encounter differences in race, color, religion, sexual orientation, language, and ethnicity. I'm aware of the assumptions that I hold about people of cultures different than my own. I'm aware of my stereotypes as they arise and have developed personal strategies for reducing the harm they cause. I'm aware of how my cultural perspective influences my judgment and about what are appropriate behaviors, values, and communication styles. I accept that in cross-cultural situations, there can be uncertainty, and that uncertainty can make me anxious, and can also mean that I do not respond quickly and take the time needed to get more information. IEG enables me to put myself in a place where I can learn about differences and create relationships. And if I'm a white person working with a person of color, I understand that I will likely be perceived as a person with power and racial privilege, and that I may not be viewed as unbiased or an ally. So this is why I state, to be very honest, again, these things are confidential, so don't feel like you're going to have your name attached to these responses. And that's the end of the survey. So any questions at all?
No, I mean, I like how you explained it, because I'm sure that there's going to be some people that when they take it, they're going to need that explanation. So that's great. And I mean, I really like where you're headed with this. I mean, it's very, very much relatable to what everybody's doing within IEG and stuff. So yeah, this is fantastic.
I'm glad to hear that you feel that way.
Yeah, this is cool. I like it.
Yeah.
So, so I guess for me, we'll get the information and do the survey, but just I would like to hear a little bit more about kind of where you're headed with your research, and kind of what are you trying to what kind of information, I guess, are you trying to find as far as this whole project?
Yes, I just, I'm definitely, I don't want to say a novice, but I'm definitely have a lot of room for growth in the research and everything. And that's why I'm hoping to get, get more training and everything through this doctoral program. And so this is, I've already received some criticisms from Dr. Pilotensky, who's the guy who had, there's no fairness with wellness or everything. So, he's definitely an advanced level than where I'm at, for sure, because I'm just like in this master's program, not in a doctoral program currently. So this type of project, it's been like very expedited, I feel, and not to say that it's not valuable, like it's definitely valuable, but it's something that is the initial steps to, I think, something greater, and that I'm working to improve upon it throughout the years, because this response that I'll get for this, I think, can be more insightful if I work harder on it, like throughout the years. Now I'm going on a tangent, but
No, I mean, I think it's great to hear someone say, well, I'm definitely not perfect at this, so I'm kind of building as I grow too. And I think that showing that process live, like live, and showing your growth, I think is, I mean, what better documentation than that to at the end of all of this, be able to say, look, this is where we started, and this is at the end of the, how many ever years of this, of your, doctoral education, and this research and stuff. I think is going to be great to have this documentation, and make it kind of uh, a kind of a regular kind of thing to do the lives, and to give the information, and to show growth, because that's what we're trying to show people. We're trying to show people that this platform in itself is going to help everyone grow. And I think this is fantastic, because this is being very, raw, and very transparent of, look, this is where I'm at, and this is where I want to go. And at some point, maybe the professor that you're speaking of could be an interview, and really tell people, this is what's, this is really what we're looking for, and this is really what we're doing, and kind of see where you're at with it. I mean, I think this is going to be a great kind of, to me, like a kind of like a series of lives and events that kind of show us the growth of your learning. So yeah, I think it's great. I think this is really cool. And quite honestly, I told Tim, I said, another part of this that I think is really cool is when someone says, hey, what's this IEG thing all about? Well, here's the research.
Mm-hmm.
This has been researched. This is a doctoral. This isn't like I'm just trying to figure something out for, my high school, research class. I mean, this is doctoral level research. And, I think, quite honestly, as IEG grows and IEG becomes more of a business, throw that little hint out there, this is great. I mean, I was excited to hear that you were able to do this, because this is huge to me, because you can say, look, do you want to see the facts? Do you want to see the documentation and the research of people from around the world that are part of this, group of people that are not only teachers and students, but basically people that are almost running like a worldwide company through Web Talk, which is, I mean, another great part of this is why is Web Talk an important part of IEG? That's another huge part, like of connecting people from around the world, and having that cross culture kind of interaction. I mean, the questions on here, I'm just like, it's going to be kind of cool to hear how people perceive themselves around the world as teachers. And I would like to say that we're not talking teachers as in I have my certificate. we're talking teachers, that people that are teaching and helping others. And I think that that's going to be another thing that's kind of exciting, is you're doing a research where most people are thinking, oh, they have to have a certificate to be part of this. And that's not what IEG is. IEG is the value of every person that wants to teach. And I think that this is going to be really interesting, I think, to see how people perceive themselves in this world and in their community. And then part of the IEG community, I think we're gonna hit some pretty interesting responses and pretty interesting kind of involvement. So definitely I'm excited to get as many of the teachers that we have from around the world to be a part of this, and take the time to be involved in this, because what is this going to do for all those teachers? I mean, I know you say it's anonymous, but at some point I would love for teachers to get on and talk about it. If they want to talk about it, like, how do I feel about being in this world? How do I feel about this community of teachers and students? And really be honest and show these as lives and documentation of how people are. A massive part of this is the teachers, and it's going to be very cool to see what they think. So I like it. This is cool. This is exciting.
Yes, but like you said, exactly. It's a learning process for me, and eventually, I'm hoping that this will be very helpful to all of you. But I'm
Yeah.
hoping that, as I grow and I become a more competent researcher, that I'll be able to do more studies that will be even more beneficial to all of you. And,
Mhm.
I'll talk to you all, and you guys can give me insight on what it is exactly you want to find out. What are some questions that you guys want answered within your group and everything?
Mhm.
So that's the
How long?
type.
Sorry, how long is your program?
3 years.
Oh,
It's
okay.
gonna be 3 years. Yeah. So I'm gonna start in the fall, so August of this year, and then it should be around 3 years. Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, this will be. I think it's gonna be fun to do. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm
Um.
I'm super excited to just find out like where you guys all, you know, like the correlations and any sort of trends that happen in responses, and that would be super fun to just do that. And then I want to be able to just have another live once I have all of the data and just talk about it and
Mhm.
just see and brainstorm what are some things we can do with what we found out, if there are areas to improve upon and all that. So
How long do we have for doing the survey?
Um, I would ideally as soon as possible,
Okay.
but I'll definitely say like within the month, like a month's time, I'd like to
Right.
get everything.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
So definitely by June 12th, I'll be done with all the research because that's when I'm graduating from this program I'm currently in.
Okay.
So as soon as you guys can respond to it, that would be great.
Okay. All right. Tim, what you got? I gotta grab a little one real quickly.
Hey, Monique, well done, man. All
Thank you.
right, so the first individual that I want to connect with, like Teacher Andy said, is your professor. Whoever's guiding you as you present, your project, because they're going to, you know, give you some advice on what you're doing, and I guarantee you that the universities and the colleges, these institutions, they're not going to understand IEG and how high level it is of true well-being. And Your presentation on what you shared was absolutely beautiful. It's all. And simply, you already know what we are creating together. And it's very simple. Teachers give everywhere. They give in Facebook. They give in Messenger. They give in the classroom. They give outside of the classroom. They give all the time. Where is their well-being? How do they feel about themselves? Well, you want facts. They're stressed. Talk to the teachers. That's what you're going to get in these surveys. And then we're going to continue this with the IEG teachers as kind of like a volunteer deal where they come in here and you ask them the questions. It's one thing to do a survey. It's another to communicate with these teachers and to actually know and actually share these facts out into the world. And that's what IEG is, because I, as a human being, understand the stress of teachers. So how do we truly support them? We listen to what they truly want to be in the world. Well-being. What do they truly want to be? They want to be free in their classrooms. That's one. So we're creating a much higher level than any institution ever had in any part of the world. It's just we're going to continue to show. And your research project is exactly what we need in the world, Monique, because that's what the intellectual world is about. They need research. I don't need research to show what's being created, because when you have 10 children running to me this morning about their classes and what they're going to do, well, it's all based on what they love. That's well-being. Then what happens? They're running. They're feeling good. Well, imagine a world like that in all countries, in all institutions, in all communities, in all states, in all provinces, in all rural areas. Well, it's happening right now, Monique. And your project, thank you, because it's going to be an international thesis. It's going to be put in magazines. And your professor, the one guiding you, he will be coming on a Web Talk Live, and we will listen, and then we're going to critique him. Because he comes from a square. These are just facts. This is not judging like the world thinks. These are facts. We are rounding the world. You want fairness? You got it. What's your vision? What's your idea? And everything's going to come your way. You're going to develop yourself beautifully. That's fairness. We are creating these environments with teachers, students, businesses, and Web Talk, as Teacher Andy shared. Web Talk is the support mechanism for our time of giving. What do you need to get into university? You needed money. What do teachers need to travel, to feel good about themselves on relaxation? They need money. How are we going to get it? They're going to all join Web Talk, and we're going to build this company together. It's called Web Talk. That's a company of giving and sharing and receiving well-being at the highest level. Fair, based on your beautiful effort. So I'm going to stop there because I loved how you presented. and we all spotlight posted it in our web talk. And where are the students and the teachers and the businesses now who wanted to learn English, who shared they wanted to learn English? Well, you got Monique speaking beautiful English her way, teacher Andy sharing in English, and everybody listened. The opportunities to come in these lives, in this expansion of this beginning, you're going to have an opportunity to come talk to Monique, to come share what you shared on the survey, to speak in English. If you're a native English speaker, beautiful. Come and show us what you got. If you're a second language learner of English, come and show us what you got on the global stage to inspire your world and to inspire yourself. That is well-being. That's being developed right now, Monique. And your father, I am honored that he got to know teacher Andy in Web Talk. That's the connection of real people. And it just expands so beautifully, naturally, the way his daughter, we listen to you, we expand what you love, and that's your well-being. We are only in the beginning stages with Web Talk and the support mechanism of revenue for you and your project. And the idea that universities need grants, it's going to disappear. We won't need to ask anyone for anything. We just do everything in Web Talk and revenue is made and we can now do whatever we like. Isn't that the highest state of well-being? If you want a simple definition in true project-based, that is it. That's it right there. You are a Department of Innovative Education Global. You will create your department. You already know what department you're a part of, Monique. This was free education for the world. How are they going to support you and teacher Andy and me and the IEG teachers and students? They go into Web Talk and they create a post on what they listen to. Thank you, Monique. Thank you for creating the time, coming back to us. And to teacher Andy, to hear him before we went live, he shared privately with me already, and for you to say it, that thanks to teacher Andy, you are now part of something with his recommendation. Got you into where we are in a larger scale. It's just so beautiful to hear. That's what this is about. So Monique, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you both. Thank you so much. And what you said is great. I mean, after I get all the results from the survey and everything, I would love to have more lives and talk about it. Maybe have like sort of healing circles, some sort of thing where we could collectively just debrief everything that we, felt, if people so choose. So.
Yeah, I'm excited to see where this is going to go. So yeah, bring all of your ideas. And that's, and I mean, if this isn't what we want as far as IEG and showing Web Talk the world what value Web Talk has, this is exactly what it is. Who's on here talking about doctoral research and development and education? Is there anybody at that level? Not until tonight. At least I don't think I've seen it. I haven't seen anybody come in and say they're working on their doctorate thesis.
And if I may interrupt, yeah. Monique and teacher Annie, you see, and we're talking about, is anyone doing this type of content in Web Talk on a live, Monique? We're talking about this level. if people talk about a post of what they might be doing in their world and a project, you know, a thesis and, you know, psychology, psychiatry, whatever, that's in Web Talk. We're talking about actually communicating with people on a live. And what happens? I share this YouTube video in Facebook, not by a link of Web Talk. And what happens? Web talkers that I don't see in Web Talk are in Facebook saying, keep up the great work. And what do I do in Facebook? Don't write that here, write it in Web Talk. And you know what? The Vietnamese Web talker wrote in Web Talk. Yep. This is what we need to be aware of the Web talkers that are already a part of IEG. They might be drifting. We need to tell them to get into Web Talk. This is how it grows. This is how we support the teachers of IEG. They will make revenue as they give. So I just want everyone to understand the Anders out there. The Anders who were posting, he was posting content about a new world order, Monique. Okay? A month ago, for a couple months ago, in Web Talk. He has now changed that perspective of something that was a program of a new world order, new world order. He's now creating content and thanking IEG for listening to him and connecting him to others and developing what he's doing in the Philippines and beyond. He's watching our live right now in the Philippines, in Web Talk. We must be aware of these beautiful human beings, giving their time, giving their inspiration to their worlds, giving their visions, and also at the same time, listening to the other visions around them. That's well-being at the highest level. It is not about my agenda only. It can never be. That's lopsided. So that's what, Monique, that's what I'm looking at as I'm in this live with you, is I look at Web Talk. What action's going on in Web Talk right now? A Vietnamese mother creating a business with IEG, private, right now, shared this YouTube live in Web Talk on her Web Talk timeline and her newsfeed. Loan. He's developing a company with IEG, private company, and we're bringing in teachers right now. Monique, I could have easily said to you, I'm busy right now creating a private company. How about if I were to tell you I'm communicating with them as we have this beautiful live? We grow everywhere. How about if I told you that? Well-being, kick it off, because we are rising right now.
Well, and I think what's really cool about it is the idea that it's saying a year ago, where were you at as compared to now? And then futuristically, focusing on like the IEG idea, where do you think this is going to be in a year? Man. And it's going to be fun to come back and see that.
Mm-hmm.
What did you say a year ago? February of 2021, February of 2022, where were you at a year ago? I think it's going to be a whole lot different of a platform, a whole lot different of successes, a whole lot different just excitement of what this has become. So yeah, this is exciting. I like it. Monique, is there anything else that you want to say to people that are going to be listening? What I want to say before you kind of give your final thoughts is that if you do watch this, please use one of your spotlight posts and share this. If you don't have spotlight posts, share it publicly. Share it around. IEG teachers, please either follow Monique or message Monique or message one of us, whatever, and say that you want to be part of this because, you know, look, the support of teachers and the support of students and the support of people in IEG, this is also part of it. We say education is for free in this platform, which it is, but we never said it's just a handout. And it's things like this that you can do. I mean, even Monique said it in her presentation. I'm going to help you get some points. I mean, that's what we're doing here. Is everybody is helping everybody to be successful, and so she does need your help. She needs you to do the the survey, and then also if you want to be part of interviews and talking and being part of live events, talking about being a teacher within this platform. I mean, come on, this is the perfect place to do this and perfect way to do some lives and really showcase what value this has to the teachers that are part of this. There's teachers everywhere that are using, Web Talk as kind of a springboard to whatever they're doing. Arsh, you have a bunch of teachers that are doing stuff. Might want to talk to them. John, you've been in it a long time. Grant, you need to bring your value in here as the the kids, the kind of the pioneer of doing classes with kids, and then all the Vietnamese teachers that are doing incredible things. Those of you, I know, Miley is probably, she's not 18, but her mom definitely could be part of this. Let's see, who else? Clements, different people. Really try to find these teachers and teachers really come together and support this, because this is, to me, this is going to help you in the long run, because this is going to get publicity. It really is. And this is what we want. We want IEGB to be the #1 group. I've always said I want it to be like the #1 kind of ideal of a school system. And now we have someone researching it. Now we have someone that's going to dig a little bit deeper and really show what this is about, showcase what this is about. And I am very excited for all of the teachers to be part of this and to really be able to show where this is going and how powerful IEG really is, not only in Web Talk, but just worldwide. The power of this group is massive. So we definitely, Monique, we will do a couple more lives just to get people to make sure to remind them and get some of these teachers involved. So with that being said, guys, please share this when you see it. Support IEG. If you think IEG is valuable, if you think that we've helped you in some sort of way, and in teachers, if you think this is valuable, which I think you should clearly see how valuable this is, share this around and let's get this out so that we can get as much information to Monique by the end of a month's time, which would be like halfway through like March, maybe first or second week of March. So Monique, I'll let you kind of say what you want to say and kind of finish this up and tell us the last information that you have as far as your project.
Oh, you ended it so well, but thank you all for tuning in. Thank you, Teacher Tim and Teacher Andy, for giving more exposure to this whole project and having people hopefully engage with it. Like I said, mid-March would be great to get those responses in, and I'll send, if you show interest, like if you comment on one of these posts, Hopefully I'll obtain a list maybe of the IEG teachers, and I can, to contact you. But if you do show interest, I will send the link to the survey through Talkmail, and then you can submit it, go through it and submit it. And later on, once I get all the data, we can have more lives, more discussions, more debriefing sessions, talk about how you felt taking the survey. All if you want to share. Of course, it's confidential, so if you don't want to share, that's totally fine too. But it'd be really cool to hear what you guys have to say, and give me suggestions too, because I'm over here like assuming these things will be helpful, but maybe there's other things that you want to know about, other things that you think are needed to help develop you or develop IEG. So I'm really open to hearing what you guys would like to find out, and how I can help you guys with that. So
And
thank you
Monique,
guys.
and very, very quick, Monique, the spotlight post that I created, I tagged about 30 IEG teachers.
Thank you.
Okay, so
Thank you.
what does that mean? What does that mean? Well, it might mean something to the IEG teachers when they see a tag by Teacher Tim. It just might. Okay, and then they're going to be like, whoa, maybe I should watch it and read the title so I can participate. So your list, I will gather the list of the IEG teachers that have been involved for the longest period. Some have faded away. They'll come back because they're actually about trying to make money, and that is okay. The bigger picture is the IEG teachers that I tagged from about 20 different countries, they're the most active. They need to be in this survey so we can develop IEG and we can make it even larger. So IEG teachers, I tag you for a reason. I'm not someone who just tags anybody just because I want to tag somebody. Listen to it. Clemens Clan as well, Monique. They have been tagged. They are teachers in my book, The Highest Level. And there are others that have just begun their journeys. This project is going to be beautiful. Get your professor
Thank you
on a live so we can listen to him and what he's about, and then we'll take him up his mountain.
All right, I'll ask him. Yeah, thank you all so much. Thank you. That's so exciting. I'm glad that he tagged all of you. And hopefully, if you're listening to this, you'll be excited to take the survey. And if you know any other IEG teachers that weren't tagged, if you can share it with them too, because the more responses, the better. Yeah, so thank you all. I'm very excited.
Very cool. All right, thank you very much, and can't wait to talk more.
All right, thank you.
All right, bye-bye.
Thank you, Monique. Well done, that work.
Thank you.
let me just show you a little glory going on. Is there's only a global interview between you. Look at the children. You want to talk about well-being? You want to see children grade 3? You want to see what they're doing. Here they are, man. They're on the computer. They're reading. They're enjoying a Kahoot. They're waving to you right there.
Oh, hi.
That's called well-being. That's called listening to them. And if you think this is a game, I'm inside a 4-wall classroom. We're here to support the 4 walls, actually, Monique, as you know. Okay? We're not here to tear them down. Just the walls are disappearing. So thank you, Monique. Thank you for the time.
Thank you. Thank you.
Hey, I tagged your dad too, his teacher.
Oh, yes.
we need him to be a part of this, as he always has been, because he's such a beautiful listener. And when he does express what he's wise at and what he has the questions on, we all evolve. We all get better with your father. So thank you, Monique.
Thank you.
Teacher Andy.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and end it.
Okay.
End this one, and then I don't know if you're trying to get back on, but I'm going to end this one, and then.
Yeah, if we can stay a little bit after the ending of it, if Monique is okay, 5 minutes or so.
Okay.
Okay.
just to get a clearer picture as she goes further with her paper and stuff like that.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Well, yeah, Monique, thanks for dropping by, and we'll see you again.
All right.
All right. All right. I'll go ahead and remove.
You know, Monique, as Teacher Andy's stopping this, it's so beautiful how you presented everything of the survey. And all of those students that are in Web Talk that they want to learn English, you know, or teachers that, you know, for whatever, you know, category they're passionate about teaching,